Happy Friday, everyone. I am Erica Savage, the founder and creator and host of the Reframe Brain podcast, where we center brain health and unseen injuries. I'm so glad to be with you this evening. It is a bit late, but we ran a little bit late on Roland Martin Unfiltered, where I am a regular panel with the Thursday VIP panel. So we just wrapped up. And so I wanted to come on and chat for a bit about this month, the power of this month. This month is September. How do we get to September? Nevertheless, we are here. And just wanted to share a little bit around the power of awareness and why and how you are an answer. So I'm not going to be on here long. I didn't share around me doing this live actually. And the reason I didn't was because I kind of wanted to check in with myself to ensure that number one, I was in a space where that's something that I wanted to do. But it's feeling really good after we wrapped up Roland Martin Unfiltered, where you can watch on the Black Star app, Black Star Network, to catch the replay of that, or if you look at it via YouTube or any one of your streaming platforms. So, just in case you're new to me, again, I'm Erica Savage. I'm the founder of the Reframe Brain podcast, where we center brain health and unseen injuries the first and third Monday of every month. You can watch us for your viewing pleasure if you want to watch and maybe do some chores or, just have that kind of playing in the background or actually watch it just like you would television. You can watch us on YouTube, or if you rather listen while you're walking, working out, in your car for long commutes, or you just prefer listening, somewhat similar to an audiobook. We're across most platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Play if you have an Android, Amazon Music. If you're subscribed and you're a Prime customer, I believe that they have an incentive for you all to also have Amazon Music. Also on Podvine, Podcast Addicts. Um, we're on Podbean. I mean, we're on multiple platforms, so you can catch us. So as you come in, I am streaming across Facebook, across my YouTube channel, which is the Reframe Brain YouTube channel, and also on LinkedIn. So if you are in here with me, as I said, this was just something that I said I was gonna, if I had the um if I felt good around doing it, it was something I was going to do, kind of pop in. But if you're on one of those three platforms, you can see us, you can see me rather, and you want to say something, please don't be shy in the chat. Just say hello and also mention your name. But I'm not going to be on here very long. I just wanted to uh, be in for a minute to really talk about the power of awareness and how you are an answer. So, some of you may have seen a post that I shared across several social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and through stories on Instagram and Facebook, and just really talked about specifically around September and the importance of September. So a lot of times when people think about September, they think of the song, of course, related to it. What's up? That's my sis. That is my sister, Wendy. Hey, so glad that you all are connecting with me from LinkedIn. Got a story to tell y'all about Wendy. So make sure that you hang on. And thank you so much, Michelle. Absolutely. I am going to be doing these actually weekly, specifically for the month of September. So, Michelle, do check in with me. There'll be a good time to do that. And if you go to the reframebrain.com, you will actually find out ahead of everybody, Michelle, when and what time I'll be doing these live specifically. So thank you for joining. Hey, Nisa, so good to see you. Ah, yep, just came from RMU. So thank you, Nisa. Hey, Sky, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. The power of awareness, you are an answer. So the post that I shared across social media today, wanted to come on for a couple of reasons. And so September is Suicide Awareness Month. It is, to me, not something that really gets talked about a lot. There's so much that many of us are engaging. I know my good sis Wynn is an adult nurse practitioner. She works in the medical field. She's a clinical scientist. However, she's very much so connected with this work because she also has this Stress Blueprint Academy that specifically helps people manage and move through stress, which is a real silent killer, right? And so when we talk about all of the things that we're facing, still having this new space that we've entered into 2020, variants, climate change. Now we're entering into where the sun and it was light outside until about 8:30 at night. Now it's starting to get dark. I know at least here I'm in the DC area, so it's starting to get dark about 7:30, 7:45-ish. And so you have what some people experience, which is seasonal depression. So they're just a litany of things. Mind you, stress, insomnia, worry, is still ticking upwards. And so, when thinking about suicide awareness, Suicide Prevention Month, I wanted to actually, for me, the piece that I shared today on social media, I shared a piece that I wrote back in September 2021, excuse me, October of 2021, but wanted to talk more intimately because if you don't know me, so I'm a former political executive, managed an international campaign, did work as an emissary in foreign country, have worked local, state, and congressional campaigns for quite some time, nearly 20 years, and had done that work, been a financial analyst, but really had always had my hands in political work. And so in March of 2021, um, I was traveling by car for work and was struck twice from behind by an 18-wheel truck. The injury that I sustained, which was of course, to my head, where I hit my head twice, and that I can remember, and to the left side of my body, left me with a myriad of injuries on the left side of my body, but also with a traumatic brain injury. So that frontal lobe of my brain, which houses executive functioning, logic and reasoning, emotional regulation, I shifted from being an executive that really powered through the day and managed several items to essentially, as my TBI team informed, was a toddler. Lost the ability to read, lost the ability um, to really be able to tolerate more than about two humans maximum. Um, it was a struggle, wasn't able to walk for a period of time. There were a litany of issues, and essentially, I was a polytrauma patient with a suite of about nine providers, home health care, occupational therapy, learning how to drive again, all of those things. I don't breeze through those things um, lightly. Sharing all of that the way that I'm sharing that because all of those things absolutely impacted my mental health. Hey, Chester, thank you for connecting from Texas. Good to have you on here with us. And so my mental health was very fragile. Before that time, had not had any, had not even heard of a suicide prevention plan. However, my mental health care team, which consists of a therapist, a neuropsychologist, and a psychiatrist, my psychiatrist saw fit because of where I was to ensure that I had a suicide safety plan, which I mentioned in what I shared on LinkedIn, or if you go to Facebook, wherever you are, you'll see it posted on social, where I have this suicide safety plan and I actually have it posted in four areas of my home. It is essential and it has kept me alive. And so, one of the things that I pay attention to are the number of people that are really maybe presenting one way, but having struggles that are silent. We've seen, especially across LinkedIn, conversations around Gen Zers, quiet quitting. Um, I would also like to share that we do have people who are quietly dying. It is my contention that when someone passes away by suicide, that it's not just a sudden act. There have been many, many steps before that person progressed to there. And so I want to bring in when I said to you all about what and then I'm going to share what I'll be doing this campaign about the power of awareness. And you, my friend, are an answer. So, my good sis, my good friend Wendy, we met in this incredible mentorship that we're a part of. And she was able to literally just not even a week ago see that I was having a bit of a decline just because of overstimulation and not having we were in a group function and not having been in a group function for like a 9 to 5 9 to 6 period. That's not been my experience. I've gone to a couple of engagements where there have been a crowd of people, but it was related around music. So it's almost like, with music, we can put our um, Bluetooth, our headphones on, whatever it is, and we can just kind of be in our own lane. And also, I had my partner with me, and so he really acts as a bodyguard to and sticks close to me like glue to ensure that I'm well. And so he knows the techniques and the flows and the things to really keep me in a place where I'm centered. So barring not having that, this really moved the goalpost for me, which in a sense is a good thing, right? It's kind of moving me a little bit beyond where I'm used to being in my brain injury. However, it was a little much. And so Wendy could see by my facial expressions and my eyes that I was not okay. And when I quietly removed myself so that I could catch a breath, she immediately asked me, "Are you okay?" And I said to her, "No." And she walked me outside and literally right there on DC streets fell into her arms weeping. It was not the event, it was just that I was overstimulated. I had not been in that environment. Sharing that to say that now that then trickled into, well, oh my goodness, you used to be able to do that. Why can't you do that? It's that self-talk for people who are suffering and having ideations that if they're not safety nets, um, um, if there's not infrastructure, so to speak, put into place, that it could have really lethal consequences for that person. So thankfully, I had two fantastic women that were there to really see about me and make sure that I got what it I needed so that I would be able to move throughout the rest of my day. And so Wendy having an acute awareness and understanding as an adult nurse practitioner, um, our other girlfriend, Trina, um, has a spiritual understanding. And so they were able to help me. Now, the second part of what had to happen is that when I went home, then had to infuse myself with positive self talk and then look at that safety plan that I have in place as another way to say, you are supposed to be here, right? So, what does that have to do with you? A lot of times, what Wendy modeled is an answer for somebody. Sometimes people just need to be seen in that moment. So, if you are raising little humans, if you have close connections with people in your family and they don't seem to be well, um, listen to what they're saying, hear what they're saying, because a lot of times, what people really need is really to be heard, to be seen, and to feel like what they're saying is not then being um, taken over by a platitude of it's going to be all right, you'll be fine, God got you, let go and let God. All of those things true um, to, they're true. However, in that moment, what a lot of times people need is just to be seen and to be heard. And then, if there's an opportunity for something to be said, one of the things that I put in the post was to say, essentially, I honor you sharing. And then I did not share this, but then asking that person, how can I be of service to you right now? Because sometimes it's a hug, sometimes it's just, well, hey, I just needed somebody to listen. And then I followed up with some phone numbers. So, what I am going to be doing this month for the month of September is every Monday, I'm going to be sharing a piece specific to um, the power of awareness. And then on Thursdays, I'm going to be doing a live. And as I said, if you go to the reframedbrain.com, you will get number one, notice of what time those lives are going to go. So you'll get kind of like that inside information. And then also, you'll get what I'm going to publish before everyone else. Then also for those people who are already signed up, just because you're already part of the list, you'll get that as well. For those who are new to the Reframe Brain community, I think you can check in with some people that may be on this live right now. You get 5 best brain health tips and then a playlist that I curated with you in mind. So, wanted to share that. I really thank you all that are on this live right now for hanging out with me, to hearing a little bit about the power of awareness that you are an answer. Sometimes people just need to be seen, they need to be heard, especially when we're in an environment where we have these devices that really keep our attention focused in so many different areas. And there's a myth around multitasking. The brain can only really focus on one thing at one time. And that is the truth. I know that. I really do thank you all for connecting with me this evening. If you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, I would love for us to be connected, especially since even though Monday's Labor Day, I am going to post something to keep in harmony with what will be happening. Those pieces that I will be publishing on LinkedIn every Monday, and then on Thursdays at a specific time, we'll be connecting with you here for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. But more details around that specifically when you go to the reframedbrain.com, join the mailing list, and get those free goodies. So on this September 1st, I hope that everyone is well. That's always my heart's desire, for people to be well. And something that I say to everyone on my podcast at the end of the podcast, which is the first and third Monday of every month, you can go and get the replays. I had someone tell me that they binged it today in a LinkedIn DM, which I thought was so cool and so super appreciative of that. But whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, I always say, and ending the podcast, that we do this work one beautiful breath at a time. I hope that you feel seen. Thank you for everyone that engaged with my post, whether it was on Twitter, it was on LinkedIn, or whether it was on Facebook. If you've not engaged with it yet, I would ask you to read it. Also, want to share that if anyone, or if you know someone that may be in need to connect with somebody, or maybe having a crisis, they can call, or you can call or text 988, or um, you can text home, and this is via WhatsApp or through your phone. Um, you can text home to 741-741, or the 800 number, which is still up indefinitely, is 800-273-8255. Be well, everyone. Have a super great evening. And I hope that you will join the email list so that you can be a part of the Reframe Brain community. Have a good rest of your day. Be well. Bye bye.